I want to talk about what you're doing now, but first I want to just I want to talk about songwriting.
Okay.
Right? Because I feel like we haven't really had this conversation yet. We've spoken to a lot of musicians, a lot of rappers, singers, stuff like that, but I don't think we've spoken to too many composers. So walk us through the process of actually writing for somebody else. Like, do you have to put yourself in that person's shoes and think like how that person would think? Like, how difficult is it to actually write for somebody that's not yourself?
What's interesting is that when you first start writing, right, you don't have any point of reference, right? When you in the beginning, you're just kind of like, okay, I want to make a song for, Whitney Houston. I don't know Whitney Houston, so how do I, you try to mimic whatever her previous works are, what you would think, you imagine. You know what I mean? Like you use your imagination like crazy in the beginning, right? Because you don't have access, but that period is when you are like really honing your craft, right? Producing, writing, you're really honing your craft. It's almost like that's part of the 10,000 hours, the imaginative part, right? Then you get to a place where you become, you're able to get in those rooms or, the concept, right? So initially, you just kind of hopefully you're going to nail it. Hopefully, you get in the room and you have something they like and then you nail it. But then what ended up happening for me is that I ended up working with Jermaine, right, early on, Jermaine Dupri early on. And I learned a valuable lesson in the session we did for Usher, for You Got It Bad. I learned, it's something I take with me everywhere, right? It's called The Song is in the Conversation. So my process now, what has been my process for the past maybe 2 decades, is if somebody books me for a session, right, I like to get multiple days because I want to take one day to have a conversation, to understand, what you want to talk about, to understand, even what you're going through. Maybe you don't even know what you want to talk about. Through the conversation, we figure out, okay, this could be, I figure out your personality. I figure out, because you have to sing these songs for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? I don't have to sing them. You know what I mean? I make them, you have to sing them. So I want you to be emotionally attached or feel somewhat emotionally attached to the song when you're singing it. You know what I mean? So the process now is just really having that conversation, creating a comfortable environment for artists to feel like they can let their guard down and they can say what they need to say and talk about the things they want to talk about. And then through that, we digest that and, it comes out through the music. That's how I like to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the most part.
So it's interesting. You said you started with Jermaine. So you're is it My Way or is it the 8701?
8701 was the first guy I worked with.
Because it's like, this happens very quick.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, when do you realize like, I'm really, like, I'm nice at this? Because everybody credits you for the Usher stuff.
Yeah.
But like, my favorite arguably is J.E. Heartbreak.
Yeah.
It's like, if you look at the writing and producing credits,
I'm
you're all over that.
Yeah, I did the majority of that.
Is that when it's like, I mastered this?
Yeah, with Jagged, it was when I figured it out. It's the point where I feel like it was figured out. There was things that happened before that. I did a group called Profile. I did a few things before that. You know what I mean? I did a remix for Sam Salter. And, just a few things that kind of like, put a couple dollars in your pocket, get a little credit. You know what I'm saying? But when I got with Jagged, it was more, I didn't know what I was doing, but I was with them every day. And then it's like the more we were doing, I felt like, okay, no, I'm starting to know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
But then when we got to those 4 songs, we got to He Can't Love You, Healing, Heartbreak, and What You're Trying to Do.
Classics.
Then it was like, okay, this is the pocket I need to stay in, right? And then we had an early version of Promise, right? An early version that they did with another guy named Bert and Gizzo. This was another set of producers that they did, but then they brought the idea to me, and then we made another version, and then we went and made the final version with Jermaine. So you're right. J. Harper was when it was like, okay, I'm doing this for real now. Like, okay, now I'm in the game. You know what I'm saying? And it definitely, from that point on, was when, everything started to just kind of.
Yeah. So you're getting credit as the writer for the song and the producer for the song. I remember this distinctly when this album came out. This is 98.
Yeah, 98.
This is 98.
Yeah, you're right.
I know it.
You're right.
I was listening to that.
We used to open up the credits.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was that and Donnell Jones. That's how I was bumping.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was bumping at the time.
Yeah.
And so from a financial standpoint, more incentive, right, to have both credits attached to you.
Yeah. It's, that particular subject is always an interesting subject to talk about because people hear the word written by and they automatically assume that it's lyrics. You know what I mean? That people do not take the music into consideration. Back in the 70s and 80s, the credits read music by, lyrics by. You know what I'm saying? And then somewhere, in the late 80s, early 90s, that particular credit got thrown out the window. I guess, they're trying to consolidate and make more room for, credits on paper. And it was just, okay, just written by. You know what I'm saying? Written by. So it's publishing works this way. Music, lyrics. In Nashville, they split everything 100%, no matter what you did. You could have wrote one line. If we're in a room together and we make a song and that song ends up being something, it's 33 and a third, no matter what, right?
Every person that writes gets the same
amount. The same amount, no matter what, right? In urban culture and in pop culture, really, in pop music culture in general, it doesn't really work that way. They have some people break it down, some random arithmetic, they'll break it down. The way that I used to break it down before was music was 50%, lyrics 50%, right? And if you split them, like if me and you made the music and you just wrote lyrics by yourself, right? Then we'll split the 50 and you get 50%.
So music, the beat, the producer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The producer gets 50% of the publishing,
and the music,
and the person that writes
the lyrics
gets
50%. Yeah.
So, but all right. So there's no set standard.
No, that's the problem.
It's just whatever you want to do.
Whatever. I mean, it should be a set standard.
It's an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
That in hip hop culture it's 50-50.
50-50, yeah.
What you're saying in music, in Nashville, in country music, what does the producer get in country music?
The producer is technically the composer. See what I'm saying?
The producer is the writer.
Yeah, composing music is writing music. Do you see what I'm saying? So the composer in country music, right? So if I'm in a room, right, and we're making R&B or hip hop music, right? There's an MPC in front of me, or a laptop or whatever, right? And I make the beat, you write the lyrics. That's so right. Take the computer out of the equation in Nashville, right? And put a piano in front of me.
And you write in music.
So written music and written music.
Put a piano in front of me. I'm playing chords.
Yeah.
I'm writing music. It's literally the same exact thing. But just when you're doing beats, when you're composing beats, you're putting drums to it.
So those guys in the country music world, they're writing the words to the song and they're actually composing the music.
Yeah.
They're doing both of those.
Yeah.